This is the question many men will think about over the next 3 months. It's what women will ask themselves when their man struggles to fall asleep at night. What's keeping him up? Ugh, he's probably thinking about girls. It's why assignments will be handed in late, why showers and bathroom breaks will be extended, why extra trips to the water cooler will be made, and why the fate of many fantasy football championships are held in the balance. Do I, or do I not, draft Christian McCaffrey this year? In 2018, Christian's sophomore season in the NFL, he started and played all 16 games for the Panthers. During that time, he rushed for nearly 1,100 yards, leading to a stat line of nearly 2,000 total yards, 107 receptions, and 13 touchdowns, which led many fantasy owners to championship seasons. With Christian heading into his third NFL season, and after finishing as a top 3 fantasy player the previous season, many experts and Monday morning quarterbacks had Christian McCaffrey as the consensus number 1 pick for the 2019 fantasy season. Christian did not disappoint. He absolutely shattered fantasy football, starting all 16 games and accumulating nearly 2,400 total yards, 19 touchdowns, 116 receptions at the running back position. He became only the third player in NFL history to rush for 1,000 yards and have 1,000 receiving yards in the same season. He finished as running back 1 and had nearly 80 more points than second place running back Derrick Henry. If you played in a point PPR league, points per reception, Christian finished with 471 points, 30 points per game. Absolutely unheard of from a skill position. In fact, the only player in the entire NFL to outscore Christian during the 2019 season was Lamar Jackson during his MVP campaign. Nearly anyone who had Christian McCaffrey during the 2019 season dominated their fantasy football leagues. They won titles, plaques, rings, trophies. They had the respect of their peers and bragging rights for an entire offseason. During that offseason, when fantasy draft picks were announced, desperate fantasy owners were trying anything they could to move into that number 1 selection, trading away nights with their wives, their girlfriends, paying double and triple to buy-in, taking league mates to Atlantic City or Vegas for a fun weekend. Desperate fantasy souls were trying anything they could to trade or slot themselves into that number 1 selection. 2022. Draft day came and Christian was the number 1 pick on every board in America, the slam dunk surefire selection. However, after 729 total touches combined in 2018 and 2019 season, Christian played only 3 games in 2022, suffering a high ankle sprain in week 2 and then injuring his shoulder in week 9. Despite only starting 3 games the previous season, Christian was still ranked atop draft boards last year. If Christian didn't go in the top 3 of your draft, it was certainly a surprise. However, after a solid start to the season, the all-world running back would run into injuries again, sustaining a hamstring injury in week 3 and then once again sustaining an ankle injury in week 12. Christian played in only 7 games last year after starting with over 19 fantasy points per game before injury. Which brings us to the question. At the beginning of the video, do you draft or do you not draft Christian McCaffrey with a top selection this year? The upside is without saying. If Christian can stay healthy, he will be the belle of the ball once again, with the highest ceiling of any player in the National Football League, leading many fantasy owners to that elusive championship. But if he cannot, if the injuries have caught up with him, if the head-on-head physical clashes with modern-day gladiators of the gridiron have caught up with him, you have punted your 2022 fantasy league, as it is very difficult to win without your first-round pick available week to week in competitive leagues. It was Billy Napier that coined the phrase, "Scared money don't make money." So I ask you, are you willing to roll the dice? Be a friend. Tell a friend. Like the video so it reaches more fantasy users haunted by this question. Comment below and help those searching for the answer. Help those sleep better at night. Help those in search of the answer to the question. Do I or do I not draft Christian McCaffrey this year? If you're not already subscribed, please do so. This is the home of Burgundy Bets, and my home is your home. Good luck out there. I'll see you on the next one.